Hi everyone, it's Chenso from Reality Art Pod. I'm here to cover the season finale of Stars on Mars Season 1, titled Brightest Star. So this is the moment we've all been waiting for. I've been covering this season from start to finish. No one's really been listening, but this is a really fun personal project for me. If you have been listening, sound off in the comments. I would love some validation. So it's the final five. Shaddy Daddy wakes up in the hab. He can't open the door. Oh no! He walks through the hab. He sees the do not push button. He must push it, right? He decides not to. Adam and Portia reflect on their friendship. Portia, Tinashe, and Adam have been in an alliance the whole time. I feel like the editing really underplays the alliance that they were in. They were running this entire game the whole time. Kat and Paul are there too, but they say nothing for the whole first part of this episode. It's really just the alliance giving each other their flowers. Shaddy says they'll be trimming the final five down to a final three. And how they're going to decide the final three is they're each going to write questions to ask each other to decide who will be the top three. And it seems like a very obvious vote. Obviously, the alliance of three is going to stick together. In advance of this, Adam and Tinashe are being sketchy of Portia, feeling like she's going to betray them. This feels like editing tomfoolery, and if the show didn't want it to be an obvious result, maybe have a different challenge to decide the final three and not a vote. Or I would have loved a challenge for maybe one or two people to win immunity, something to add a little bit of intrigue to this vote, but it ends up being very straightforward. Adam asked Portia who she felt would be there in the end, and she says Tinashe, which is a bad answer. She should have said Adam. Then Paul says that he was stabbed 11 times, and things are getting very serious in this question segment. We get to the results. Mission critical are Tinashe, Portia, and Adam. The alliance. Obvious. So Paul and Kat need to leave. Goodbye, Paul. Seems like you were coming on this show to redeem your reputation from some kind of stripper incident. I feel like he has. You survived 11 stabbings and you're here on Mars. You go, Paul. Onwards and upwards. See you on the next planet, my guy. And we say goodbye to Kat, who was probably the most strategically motivated person on this season. She seemed very cutthroat. Unfortunately, there was no way for her actually to succeed in the end. So overall, the show was a big waste of time for Kat, but at least she got to promote her cookbook. And her cookbook is now on Mars in the time capsule. The final three walk down the hall in slow motion to meet Shaddy Daddy. And this segment of them walking was very chic. They're showing off their spacesuits. They're giving a kiss to the camera. For the final challenge, the top three will face off in a trivia portion. Once you get 5 answers right, you can start running to the final mission, but only 2 people get to race, so one person's going to be eliminated in third. My money is on Adam at this point. There's only one Olympic athlete in the three. The first question is easy, but Portia gets it wrong. And the question is which 2 of these are Mars's moons? And 2 of the options are Phoebe and Chandler and Ariana and Grande, and Portia picked one of those 2 answers. But then she's the only person who gets a really hard question right, so you go, Portia, I guess. The scores end up becoming even in the end. Adam is the first one who gets his question right. He has a huge head start, so he starts running to the final puzzle. Tinashe gets the next one right, and she books it. And so it turns out Portia's eliminated. If she didn't get this stupid question wrong, she would have left in first place. And so we have to say goodbye to Portia, who overall was the heart of the season. She was always involved in any of the humorous scenes, and it was also really nice seeing her get really into this show. She was really into it. It was especially funny when she really wanted to be base commander, but nobody would let her, and then she ended up being a really great base commander. So thanks for being on the show, Portia. I think being on the show is a really good choice for her. And the goodbye shot of Portia is her sitting on Mars, lighting up her flare, and she dances around with the flare, which was a very appropriate send-off. Then Adam and Tinashe have to race to a satellite puzzle. They have to connect a bunch of different wires to this rocket, and then after they connect the wires, they have to connect more wires. It's just a lot of connecting wires. Adam chooses not to read the instructions for the puzzle. Tinashe gets there and reads the instructions. All the while, Shaddy Daddy is heckling Adam, and it's quite funny. Once their puzzle is complete, they're going to use their satellite to broadcast their final message to Earth. Overall, Tinashe and Adam end up being pretty neck and neck, though on the second wires portion, Adam flies through it and Tinashe can't figure it out. Adam wins and his message is broadcast in Times Square, New York City, Red Square in Moscow, Vatican City, and Sydney, Australia. Shaddy Daddy is proud. So that's it. Adam is the winner. So we say goodbye to Tinashe, who I thought was going to be the winner. I feel like she had a long-term story arc of being mission critical in most of the missions. She did not come to Mars to play around. She was super serious about all the Mars missions, and I really appreciated her for that. So you go, Tinashe. If I ever get to Mars, I'm going to get 2 on in your honor. And congratulations to Adam, who is just a winner. The title that he wins at the end of the show is Brightest Star in the Galaxy, and maybe he is the brightest star because he already won Dancing with the Stars. He's an Olympian. You want to give somebody else a chance? I guess being the brightest star is a full-time job with no breaks. So wrapping up the season, I felt really good about this alliance making it to the final 3. It would have been a completely different outcome if the alliance of athletes had gotten to the end. So in the end, it was a really pleasant result. Thinking back to the whole season, I remember when I first discovered this show on Hulu and started binge watching, and I thought it was such a cool concept concept. I think that the set design was incredible. They picked such a great location, which was Coober Ready in Australia, which the Rad Dog promotes at the end of the episode. I looked the city up and apparently it just looks like Mars. It's where the movie Red Planet was filmed, so the more you know. A big thing I would improve upon for further seasons would be having the entire cast start on the same day. The consistent rotation in of new stars onto Mars made the show seem a lot longer than it was. It was 12 episodes and it felt like it was never ending. So it would be a lot more interesting if there were just more stars to begin with, have some more dynamics, and not just have it be the new people versus the old people, and the old people being shuffled out, especially if the finale format's going to be like it was. Also, shout out to the Rad Dogs. This entire season was a huge commercial for the Rad Dogs, and we didn't get a proper send-off of them saying goodbye to the Rad Dogs in the finale. So what's the deal with that? To wrap things up, if there's another season of this, I'll definitely be covering it. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss that whenever it is. From Mars, this is Chenzoid the Great. Have a nice week. Bye.